am studying theater. If you're not white and you're not a man, the roles are very slimmed down for you. Yeah, there are a lot of obstacles. I think there's just an extreme lack of opportunities. I didn't really realize that there was going to be so many blocks until I started looking at casting calls. And when I started looking at these casting calls, it was like, okay, we need a Caucasian, 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 Caucasian. And I would see like lists of like, and some days I would just see lists of just like, we required white actors. And some days when they don't specify it, and you come in and they're kind of like, there's a little bit of a weird vibe to it, it's because I think they already think that, oh, didn't you know that we kind of meant white? We just didn't really specify it. Whatever, like the term traditionally white roles mean, I just don't, it doesn't make sense to me, because I think that we've come to a place where once you see someone on screen, they're usually white and it means neutral. Like if the roles are reversed, it's no one's ever like, I don't think any minority has ever said they're white, I can't relate to them, I cannot relate to their pain, I cannot relate to this person's happiness or this character's struggle. However, it seems that way to be in reverse. If you put a black woman like as a lead, people tend, or studio heads or directors or writers or whoever's in charge of putting these movies out there, are become so fixated on, oh, well, it's gonna become a black story. It's gonna have to be a story about race. It's gonna have to be a story about women, and that's not necessarily true. You're dealing with universal themes. Everyone feels loss. Everyone feels jealousy. Everyone feels joy, and so it's just mainly about relating to human connections and to the human experience. There really are little opportunities, and when you finally see something that is for, like for what your type is. So like I'm young and Hispanic and a woman. So when I finally do find something out on a rare occasion, it's usually only to place a stereotype. When they call it out specifically on ethnicity or color, it's usually only to perpetuate something negative. As of recent, I can only recall only seeing Latino men being represented as gangbangers, as drug dealers, as just criminals. And Latin women especially are so completely sexualized to a point where they become objects and they become like exotic flowers or something, and it dehumanizes all of us. What I've only seen, where I usually only see Latinas being represented, is traditional, the traditional roles, like as maids, as gardeners, as just goofy sidekicks with like strong like foreign accents who are dim and always like kind of sex obsessed, and that's always what you see. Or they're playing, especially with women, they're playing the seducers, the homewreckers, the femme fatales. And I'm not necessarily bashing that. All of that, there are people like that out there. There are people who are, big, curvaceous. There are people who are like that. However, that's all we've seen so far. And so I think it's just time to see new stories. When I was growing up, like Salma Hayek is a smart businesswoman, Jennifer Lopez, very successful person. And then recently, like as I was growing up as a kid, seeing like Selena Gomez and that kind of stuff, like lead her own Disney show. And I think when I was like younger, that actually meant a lot to me, because I just never had seen anyone like that. So it's easier for, it makes it like it feel more achievable, where if you see someone who looks like you, then it's like, oh, well, maybe things are changing. Maybe I can, like, if someone's person thinks that maybe I can open those doors too. They open the doors, and maybe I can like start going down that path as well. I think Gina Rodriguez, she's the Golden Globe winner. She does Jane the Virgin. I think she just like perfectly like express like everything about like how Latinas are, because she always said that like she would pass up on roles if they contributed to something negative regarding Latino image or perpetuating something that she didn't want to spread. And so she like retained her dignity, which is kind of hard for an actor, because it's kind of conflicting. They tell you when you're starting out, especially, there's like pretty much very little you should say no to. You got to get your foot in the door. However, it's kind of difficult when you have these ideas of already like, I know I have to get my foot in the door, but I don't want to lose my dignity in the process.